What's up, guys? Welcome back to the 14th episode of the Coughy Show. My name is Mike. Got Eric with me.
Happy Thursday. It's actually Thursday this time.
Right, we're back on normal shit this week, and we're gonna let Eric do all the talking this week.
They'll miss you too much.
So just to reiterate, we do have our Best of Omaha party on Friday from 6 to 9 at Beercade in Benson. Wear your coffee gear. There'll be free food and drinks while supplies last. The vote did end up being Mexican food, so we'll have tamales, beans, rice, salsa, chips. So be hungry and come eat it because I got over 100 tamales. I've never ordered 100 tamales before.
So fucking many. You know, the first thing in the morning they're gonna start busting them damn things out.
Oh yeah, we got to be getting one of their whole big containers of them.
That'd be huge. They do the huge chips too, don't they? The big cake box. Is that where we did them last time?
No, that was actually, I want to say that was La Mesa, if I remember right. Did we ever get those here?
You brought like 50 pounds
Oh,
of chips
I think,
and
yeah, I
salsa
think my
one
sister.
time.
I think that was my sister. I don't remember.
We ate chips and salsa for 5 days.
Yeah, you're right. That shit was delicious too. So jumping in the news here, our first two articles actually are from Hemp Industry Daily. So this one is about the new USDA regulations and how they're kind of a more elaboration on how they're going to be hurting farmers. So they're not happy with the THC testing standards. Everybody wants them to go to a 1% rule because what they're doing now is combining Delta 9 THC and THCA on a dry weight basis. But the issue there is Delta 9 THC is the only one that gets you high, but they just kind of like group all the THC cannabinoids together.
Yeah, I mean, I understand being upset about it, but the good part is at least there's some regulation. They're starting, and they have a 60-day window that they're going to take that feedback and hopefully make a change. So it may suck for now, but at least they're actually working and using all that government money to start something, as opposed to just leaving people with no guidance whatsoever.
Very true. So hopefully they'll actually like take what people are saying into consideration, because these rules actually did go into effect on Halloween, October 31st. And as Eric mentioned, they're opening up a 60-day public comment period to gain insight from hemp farmers, as well as hemp in the broader agricultural industries. So Eric's going to go help a customer here real quick. So they're saying that the USDA, one thing that they could do to help these farmers, instead of just... because we mentioned before, if they test over 0.4%, they actually have to have the DEA come out and destroy that whole crop. So one thing they're mentioning here is that they could just send it to approved labs, and these could be DEA approved labs as well, and they can actually remove the THC or pull out some of the THC to get it down to that threshold, so these farmers can still use these products and not just completely destroy, 6-8 months worth of work for really no reason. If the THC can be removed, THC can be removed. It's not like they remove it and there's going to be residuals left over and it's still going to get you high. No, they have a process. They can get rid of it. Moving on here, they're talking about how the CBD retail landscape is rapidly evolving. So it's been in specialty or niche stores for the last, 5-6 years. But CBD infused products are finding their ways into the shelves of prominent retailers, and the ingredients presence and availability may yet to increase.
Yeah, shit. 7-Elevens are going to have CBD. I mean, just anywhere you could imagine, they'll have something.
Yeah, so this Southeastern Grocers joined the CBD category, and they're going to sell a range of 65 CBD products at 152 Winn-Dixie and Buy Low supermarkets in Florida and South Carolina. So the grocery chain will carry topicals, supplements, and pet products from Charlotte's Web, Plus CBD Oil, Medterra, Veritas Farms, Sun Soil, Irwin Naturals, and Harmony Hemp. With 570 stores in 7 states, Southern Grocers said it will consider expanding distribution of CBD products into additional locations in 2020. So this is, I go both ways on these stories because it's cool to see CBD becoming a lot more mainstream, and I guess ultimately my goal with it is to see it get into the hands of like everybody that needs it. But a lot of these people end up picking up garbage brands, and then again we come back to people are trying CBD for their first time and get some trash product and then see that it doesn't work, so they assume all CBD is the same and it's never going to work.
Yeah, and like, where's the education as far as the people that are selling it?
Yeah, these people in the grocery store don't know what the hell they're selling.
No, you don't have anyone that's like, oh, here, get this deodorant. You're going to like this one that just stands in the aisle. So, I mean, people aren't going to... It's very self-led, which, I mean, most people in the world can figure out, but then you get people that are scared or they don't know if it's going to work, that need a little guidance as like, oh, you don't need to start with the 5,000 milligram bottle your first time. You'd be fine starting with the 500 milligram bottle and seeing if you like it before you just jump right in.
For sure.
You need somebody to kind of guide you down that path, because, I mean, you can Google all day long, but you'll see a million articles that tell you a million different things.
Yeah, it's so much misinformation. It's like diagnosing yourself with cancer online. It's like, you're going to look at some symptoms and be like, oh, shit, I definitely have that.
You're like, I either have a cold or I have the Black Plague. We'll see in 3 days what happens.
Pretty much. But they do say that in 2018, tinctures and sublinguals led the CBD-infused product sales at recreational marijuana stores in California, Colorado, Nevada, and Washington State. That's what I always try to push people towards is tinctures and sublinguals, more commonly known as just CBD oil.
Yeah.
So that's going to get you your best absorption, and besides... buying isolate and making it yourself, it's the best way to get the most bang for your buck in a prepackaged product.
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to buying gummies or some sort of other edible smoking can be beneficial in its own ways for like neurological problems, but sublinguals are pretty much the way to go all around.
Yeah, and it's trial and error, because there's so many variations of what you want it for, how you'd want to consume it, and then also, making sure that you're accurate as far as dosing yourself out.
Right.
And make sure you're taking the same every day, or maybe going up a little bit, not just being all over the ballpark with what you're going to take every day being different, and not really ever knowing what works and what doesn't work for you.
Right. Moving on here, we got a story from Fox. CBD oil helps a Connecticut man stop taking over-the-counter medications. So this guy's actually a chiropractor, and his quote here says that he's been dealing with Lyme disease for about 3 years, and it's inflammatory process that goes into the joints. Even after you kill the bug, you're still left with the damage. And let's see, when I discovered CBD oil, it put my body into balance. So the Lyme disease is actually something I've never heard of CBD being used for. I didn't even know. I've heard of it, but I never really knew it was an inflammatory disease until I did a little research with this article.
Yeah, Lyme disease, because I think you get rid of Lyme disease. You can, like, quote-unquote cure it, but not, like, what you get left with behind. It must really tear up your joints pretty bad.
Yeah, I guess so.
I've never known anyone with Lyme disease.
Me neither.
I've heard about it. You see it on, like, these stupid medical shows, like Grey's Anatomy and all, like, the soap opera-y ones. But I've never actually heard of a real person, especially a chiropractor, someone that's fairly educated and knows, oh, this joint hurts, or I really have this pain here. That's not just somebody that says their back hurts. They truly know.
Right. Eric's going to accept a delivery here. So he goes on to say that he was taking over-the-counter things and putting on topicals. He said he was taking aspirin, Tylenol, and some other anti-inflammatories, but he said he doesn't take any of that anymore. In the mornings, he said, I can hardly walk. I have to really take the time to get my joints working and stretch out. That's when I take it on an empty stomach. I can feel it pretty much within a half hour, and the pulsing pain that's within the joints begins to quiet down, and they loosen up so that he can move. So, again, this is a chiropractor, so now, in addition to him doing spine adjustments, he's also recommending CBD oil to his patients, and he's saying that the results with his patients have been astounding. Which makes a lot of sense, because, a lot of, back problems and, like you saying, joint pains and stuff like that result from inflammation, and that's kind of one of CBD's main claims to fame.
Exactly.
So let's see. Moving on here, we got an article from Dallas News. So, edible arrangements. I'm sure everybody's heard of those. They sell like fruit in fancy little baskets that's cut up all cool and stuff. And instead of sending somebody flowers, you can send them fruit. So, I mean, who doesn't love receiving food?
Exactly.
So, Edible Arrangements has chosen Dallas-Fort Worth as its debut market for CBD-infused foods like smoothies and chocolate-dipped fruit. That's a pretty big company diving into CBD, and especially to dive in with food when that's still kind of like up in the air still, yeah.
And Dallas, doing it in Dallas, that's a big market. That's a lot of people. And Texas is strict, aren't they?
Yeah, Texas is still strict. I actually just seen an article about some county in Texas that still has like CBD specifically banned, and they choose these weird states. Like I could see if you're going to start out in like Colorado or California or some other state with like much more lax laws, but you're starting off in one of the rougher states.
Yeah, especially like a state that's like legal or medical that like has edibles, like true edibles. You'd think you'd be able to kind of skate by a little more than Texas. But I mean, I guess a company like Edible Arrangements, they're going to have the money to fight any litigation that they get from
they've been around for a long time now. I'm sure they got some change, and those Edible Arrangements, they're cool, but they're not cheap.
No, not at all.
So they're saying that they're debuting them at 25 locations in North Texas. Stores are in Arlington, Bedford, Cedar Hill, Dallas, Denton, Fort Worth, Frisco, Garland, Irving, Keller, Mansfield, Mesquite, Plano, and more. So that's kind of cool. Again, we see these bigger companies diving into it. When they come here, I'll buy one just to try it.
Exactly.
Just to show the support for the CBD products. I'd be interested to see who they're getting their CBD from.
Yeah, and what they're actually using. Like, are you adding it to the chocolate itself, or are you using just like isolate and putting it in? Is it water soluble?
Right. I bet that they're infusing that chocolate. But I don't understand how you would, do the math on that. And so you'd have to say that it's a range, because if you're just like dipping something in there, I mean, how much did it actually absorb? I guess you weigh what's left afterwards, and then you can determine a dosage. I don't math.
And how much you eat. You can't say there's going to be approximately this much in each piece, because if you sit and you eat the whole damn thing at once, you're just... I think it's always hard with edibles that aren't like gummies, because the dosing, they're so different. It's the same as like when you smoke like hemp or CBD cigarettes, cartridges. You don't really know what your dose is. You know what the whole product is as a whole, but actually finding out how much you consume will always vary between... how much you eat, if you're smoking it, how long you smoke it, how much you smoke. There's so many factors. You'd never know exactly what you're going to get out of it.
For sure. So let's see, another big article we got here. This is from independent.co.uk. Barney's New York is diving into the CBD and cannabis business, actually. This is kind of a big company to dive in. Like, they're one of the most well-known luxury department stores that I can think of.
Yeah.
So they're putting a 300 square foot section in their flagship Beverly Hills location, of all places, and they're calling it, quote, the high end. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, someone is smart. Someone that smokes pot came up with that.
Right. So they plan to sell a number of lifestyle products. That's a fancy way of saying it. From vaporizer pens and pastilles. The hell is a pastille?
That one I'm not sure of. Pastilles.
Eric's going to Google that for us. As well as CBD-infused beauty products from brands such as Foria, Boys Smells, and Malin and Goats, and Body Vibes.
A pastille is a fancy rich person term for a small candy or lozenge. So gummies and cough drops.
Exactly. Yeah. That's their customer base. They got to fancy it up. So they say that many of their customers have made cannabis a part of their lifestyle, and the high end caters to the needs with extraordinary products and service they experience in every facet of Barney's New York. So fancy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when this actually is out and people can shop it, because you know that they're not gonna do it cheap. They're only gonna have
Oh yeah, it's gonna be some expensive shit.
high end, the 24 karat vaporizers, all of that good stuff. None of the little $10 cart batteries that you'll see normally that do just fine. They're
Right.
gonna market to the people that will spend that money.
So apparently they're only for actual cannabis products. They're only working with some upscale cannabis company called Bebo, Beboe. I've personally never heard of them, but I don't know a lot about medical marijuana brands from California either. So
True, exactly.
there's that.
It's a little far away, and I mean they've got, even like looking at their website, they have tons of shit. Just like charm bracelets with the pot leaf, $607.
Jeez.
Sunglasses with the leaf, $540.
Wow, you can get those on Amazon for like 15.
A charm necklace, which is a green stone with a hemp leaf made out of metal, $1,215. So
Wow.
I guess they're not gonna do it small, like you said. They're gonna do the big expensive high end stuff. They won't have anything little.
Yeah,
I mean they've got fucking ashtrays on here that are $1,000.
Wow, that's somewhere. Think about like how much you have to not care about money to spend $1,000 on something that you put your trash into.
Think of the mini Bic lighter case that they sell for $7.25. A mini Bic lighter is $1.08. You're gonna spend $6.25
I'm
on
in
a
the wrong
lighter
business,
case.
man. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, they got a lot of them. I think the cheapest thing that they have on here is $40 for a gold cone.
Is that Shine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got Shine, the whole line.
Wow, that's cool.
Yep, all the Shine papers, but I mean that's just.
And that's
insane.
actually, I think that's proper pricing for Shine.
Yeah,
If
true.
that's the one I'm thinking of, because I mean those are 24 karat gold. It's you want to smoke.
Shit, we charge 20 for the things, not no 42.
Is that just a single cone?
Yeah, 40 for a
So
single
they're
cone.
charging double what we are.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's a big markup. Yeah, I mean
real.
a stash box necklace, 300.
Wow.
That's insane. Yeah, they've got, I mean, everything that you could imagine. Even for a simple one hitter, $148.50. That's insane. See, I don't know though, because a lot of any of their products are very derived at this is what it works for. So they're one of those companies that doesn't give you the blanket statement of, oh, these are what it'll do. They say like this patch is for sleep, this is for your period, this is for your back hurting. I don't know about that. This one's for a hangover. God damn. That's just insane. They've got, I mean, everything that you could imagine. A glass tip for a pre-rolled, $45. They've got to be a 900% markup at cost. Jesus. It'd be cool to see though.
Yeah, for sure.
Never seen $1,000 ashtray before.
Yeah, new for me, out of my budget. So our last article here is about some vape bitch. That's what we're gonna call her today. This is from USA Today, and this is about a shitty human being named Janelle Thompson, who came out with a company called Yellow Vapes, and supposedly this lady's a CBD pioneer. So in recent months, hundreds of vape users have developed mysterious lung illnesses, and more than 30 have died. They say Yellow was a little different though, because users knew immediately that something was wrong. So this lady was lacing the vapes with synthetic marijuana, so the products didn't even contain CBD, and she was also using the vitamin E acetate stuff, which is again blamed in many deaths here. So they were trying to figure out who was responsible, and public health officials and criminal investigators apparently couldn't figure it out. Just as it seemed to appear from nowhere, it faded with little trace, because as soon as they started seeing all this news coming out about vaping illnesses, of course they knew that they were going to be linked to it, so they tried to hide. So the lady's name here is Janelle Thompson. She moved from Utah to the San Diego area back in 2010, and she moved in with a roommate that she found online who also vaped. Thompson had a background in financial services, and the two decided to turn their shared interest into a business, founding an e-cigarette company called Hookahs, Hookahzz. Hookahs.
Stupid name.
Hookahs. Thompson and her partner handed out Hookah's products at an Emmy Award pre-party, and their CBD vapes were included in Oscar nominee gift bags in 2014. In a video shot at a trade show, an industry insider described the two women as the divas of CBD. I mean, they had to have been doing something right to get those products into these Oscar nominee gift bags. That's got to be a pretty sought after position.
Yeah, they say those bags every year. After they're done, they range out from 25,000 to 50,000. They give all these people.
Jesus.
They give them trips, yoga memberships for a year, jewelry, gift cards. I mean,
isn't it crazy? Like, the richer you get, the more shit that people give to you. But when you're poor and begging for something, people
look
just
down on you.
don't even look at you.
I mean, we saw that with Burner
crazy.
a couple weeks ago. Everybody was giving him everything in the world and giving him clothes and just
Right.
all their shit. And I'm like, man, it's nice of you. He's polite. He's gonna obviously take what people give him, but
Yeah, I mean, they actually did take all that stuff too. Like, we had a box back here that was piled of stuff that people gave for them, and they took it with them. I mean, I don't know what they do with it, but
he got a whole
took it with
fucking a winter wardrobe of jackets, so
Right.
he's obviously doing good. But I'm like, damn, y'all just see a rich person and you're like, here, take this stuff that I
take
worked
my
hard
free
for.
stuff. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
No, I mean it's nice, but it's weird.
So, this was a pretty long article, but again, it comes down to they popped up with this brand. They really didn't put anything on the packaging to describe where the product was from or anything. So it was just like shady from the jump, and they pushed it out to smoke shops across the country, and came out that it was spiked with synthetic marijuana, commonly known as K2 or spice, and samples tested at the Utah lab showed yellow contained a synthetic marijuana blamed for at least 11 deaths in Europe, and again, no CBD at all.
Yeah, I mean, it was an employee that luckily was the one a former employee,
Right.
that said, hey, I think my boss is the one that's making this shit. I'm seeing it everywhere. I know, from keeping the books that this is something we manufacture. It's like, good for her. Obviously, we'll see with this week in particular, whistleblowers are really important in America.
Yeah. I think, stuff like this I fucking hate seeing this stuff. These people are just super shitty. Again, as we said last week, if you're doing it right in this business, there's a lot of ways to make insane amounts of money off of CBD, like just doing it the right way. Like, I don't even understand. I mean, you got to import that synthetic marijuana from somewhere nowadays, because I'm pretty sure it's illegal in all 50 states.
Yeah.
So this lady's gonna have some big problems. Hopefully she doesn't make it back out to do some cheesy shit like this again.
Looking at a 40-year prison sentence.
Yep, let that bitch go.
Bye, Janelle. Look, I hate the name Janelle. You just ruined that. I'll never meet a Janelle I like in my life.
I'll never trust another Janelle in my life.
No, I'll be like, are you Janelle Thompson?
All right, guys, that's all we got this week. Hopefully we'll see you at the party tomorrow.
Have a good afternoon.
Later.